You. What's popping? What's good? What's good? We got RKT Appraisals in the building. What's going on? What's going on?
What up? What up? What up?
What's popping with you? What's popping with you? Man, so what is this title about? Because Rashidi came up with this stuff. He said, life is about experiences you buy. So go in, let the people know what it is.
Yeah, man.
You better not be talking about prostitution.
Too funny. But yeah, nah, man. It's just like the title says, man. A lot of times people talk about and reflect back on their life. Like, you look back when you were a kid, you didn't get to do this, you didn't get to go to summer camp, you didn't have this experience, you didn't have that experience. The truth is, every experience we have, for the most part, especially as adults, is we bought it. When you go on vacation, you had to pay for your vacation. You know what I mean? If you were a kid and your parents paid for certain things in the summer, if they sent you to summer camp, they had to pay to send you to summer camp. They had to pay to send you to a little program, whether it's, like a YMCA or whatever the case is. So the point of the show today is just like a lot of times people forget about the experiences that they have and complain about the experiences that they have, but actually don't set a budget to actually buy the experiences that they want. Which is a major thing in life, man. Like, you got to set aside that budget, man. If you never went to France, you want to go to France, you actually got to set up a budget to do so. Anything that you haven't done, you actually have to put in work, set aside a budget, and actually buy that experience so you can actually have that experience.
Right, that's real shit. Shout out to King Rady in the chat. But that's interesting because I feel like a lot of times people forget that it takes money to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? So and to go certain places, experience certain events, be in certain situations, and those things are going to be things that you'll experience, but you're not going to be able to experience it without the money. And I think sometimes because we might have the money, we don't think about it because we just sort of do it. We like, well, you know what? Let's go to fucking Jamaica this weekend or whatever. You buy the plane tickets, you get all your shit, but that you only can do that because you got the money to do this shit. But when you're broke, you're limited on certain things that you can't do.
Names a single.
Sorry, you know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that shit though?
I mean, yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I think, and it's weird because when you're broke, like you said it best, like so many limitations, right? It's only but so much you can do,
right?
So then, what's messed up about that is that if it's a cycle that if you don't break out of, then it's kind of like you're almost like you're living in hell, because it's like a time loop to where, because you're broke, you can't do anything, right? And then you're probably angry or you're pissed off all the time. You're pissed off all the time because you're broke. So then because you're in a negative space, that it keeps you in that space. Then you can continue to be broke. You're going to continue to not have. You're not going to continue to get these experiences, right? So it's super important that when you have a mind shift, you change how you think, because there's so many different ways to make money, and the even being creative, they call it a pipe dream if you don't have any money to do those things that you create in your head. You get what I'm saying? So it's super important that one, you find ways to make money. When you do make money, two, you find ways to budget, so you, like Rashid was saying earlier, that you can have these experiences. Because without the money, like I said, it's just a pipe dream, and then you always wonder what if,
Yeah. Shout out to Antoine, Joe Blast, Onyx, and King Yikes. Yeah, I wanted to say, life is pretty much all about experiences, and because it's you're born and then you die, and everything in between is the only thing that you really have is the experiences, right? Because you can't take the money with you. I mean, shit, who knows what you really can take with you? But the fact of the matter is, there's going to be a time that you're born and there's going to be a time that you die. And the gift of life is everything that you get to do in between. You understand? So, and money is a tool. Money is a tool to manifest all those things that you're trying to do in between. Right. So So kind of like what Kayleen was saying with the, I think that's what they call the depression spiral. You know, where you know, one thing is causing the other thing, and then the other thing causes that same thing again, and so on and so forth, and it keeps building on each other. But it can be the same thing on the opposite end too. You understand? Having a positive mindset can lead to you know, being hopeful about an experience that you're trying to purchase. So you could say, okay, well, you know, I'm $10 closer to my trip to such and such, or, you know, so you have that positivity builds on positivity. So the same way you could be in a negative spiral is the same way you could be in a positive spiral where you're budgeting, you're saving, you're, you know, because life is all about experiences. And at the same time, having a positive mindset allows you to take simple experiences from the day to day, and also gives you the ability to appreciate that as well. Because just because you're not in the French Riviera, don't mean you can't enjoy your life. You understand, man? Like, you know, being grateful for what you have right in front of you is also a great thing. You understand? Like, you know, and experiences, life is happening all the time.
Right.
And it's up to us to choose whether to be present in the experiences that we're going through, because it's happening whether you want to acknowledge it or not, whether you want to be a part of it or not. Life is happening, bro. You understand? Like, you could take a walk down the block and you could say to yourself, man, I've been on the same block since I've been whatever. But you don't notice that around the corner there's like a street festival going on, and a lot of people are having fun and doing their thing. But because you're stuck in your brain having negative thoughts, you don't realize that there's an opportunity to experience something different on the same block that you've been on. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, this money is a tool, but you got to have the right mindset to begin. You know, to understand how to use money, to understand how to save money, to understand how to, you know, use the tool of money to create and manifest those different experiences that you think that you desire, that you have in your mind as a plan to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man. I definitely agree, man. You know, to Miles' point, and even King X's point, broke is a state of mind.
Right.
The truth is, at the end of the day, broke is, if we're being honest, broke is not a real thing. You know what I mean? It truly is the state of mind, because we live in America. America's a capitalistic society, an opportunistic society. So at the end of the day, broke is just a state of mind, because the truth is, as broke as you are, there are many opportunities that you can take advantage of experiences. You know, no matter how broke, quote unquote, you are, if you're doing the things the right way, there's ways to actually get around it. You just gotta pay attention. That's why that word "pay" is ahead of stuff. When you get something, pay attention, make a payments. You actually have to do those type of things to make moves and go forward. Because I mean, even if, you know, in not even the worst case scenario, but an example of somebody that you know, maybe getting some type of assistance, you have that assistance. So therefore, if you use your money the right way, you can pay to do other things and experience other things that other people that don't have that assistance can't do. You know what I mean? So there's so many ways at the end of the day that you can tweak and twist and make strides in life, man. I mean, it's just as simple as just planning and budgeting. Like I said, I mean, it's a lot of things that you have. If you haven't, you know, a lot of people that grow up in New York, they never leave New York City. So therefore, they never try to get a driver's license or a car. But the reality of the situation is, though, you can make time to get a driver's license or car. You just got to set aside a couple dollars to get a permit. But all these experiences you got to pay attention to and actually do. But it can actually be done. It's just actually sitting aside, making the time, making a budget. You can live a good life on a budget. I mean, I'll give a perfect example as far as, you know, just using the money you have and knowing how to use it. I used to go to the bar in Manhattan when I was 21, and honestly, I would, you know, get drunk before I actually went to the bar, and then I sneak a little bottle in my coat in the bar to have a whole bunch of drinks and be in the bar and still be okay. You know what I mean? So
what happened to all the Hennessy and shit from last week, nigga?
The Hennessy's now. I'm talking 15 years ago, my youth.
Yo, hey, King Yikes. He says, I feel like my family set me up to be broke. I had to work my way out of it. They said go to school. That's about it. So King Yikes, you one of these niggas that's all up in your fucking feelings, huh? You trying to blame shit on your family, huh? You feel like your family set you up, or did your family do the best they could fucking do, give you an opportunity of life so you can make your own way and stop being a punk and blaming shit on other people? Which one is it? You see what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I understand how you feel, but fuck your feelings, nigga. You got to get out here and hustle. You got to get out here and do what the fuck you got to do. So no, don't nobody feel sorry for you, bro. Don't nobody feel sorry for you. I'll tell you that right now, because everybody on this panel know what government cheese tastes like. You understand? Everybody on this panel lived at home with their fucking moms. Everybody on this panel been broke. Everybody on this panel had to fucking find a way to fight and fucking keep a positive attitude and keep moving out here. You understand? So you could feel any way you want to feel. The work still has to be done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, Miles. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, as far as what King X is saying, on top of that, to add to that, we understand the scenario of if you learn from poor habits. You know what I mean? And your family may have set you up for poor habits. But the truth is, though, especially once you're a male, in particular, once you hit that age of 18, you now have to start transitioning to what Miles' point of saying, like, all right, I know my family may have set me up with bad habits, but I now have to break those bad habits because I'm now an adult and I'm being held responsible for all these type of stuff. So once you start getting into 20, 21, 22, 23, those type of ages, you need to transition and start learning how to erase those bad habits and be more self-aware. But to King Yikes' points, a lot of times people fail to make any changes, fail to change the habits because it's easier to just blame those habits and keep going like, when I was a kid, this happened. My parents ain't do this. And they may have done these things, but when you're 35, 40, their ages now, what are you going to say then?
You're going to say then, yeah. And he also says, I made my own way. They could have set me up right. Listen, your family setting you up right or being born into a rich family or something like that is a that shit is a luck of the draw, homie. That shit is a luck of the draw, because you talking about, oh, they could have set me up right. Did you know that there's a motherfucker that look kind of like you, that's your same fucking age, but he's in a fifth world country and he don't even have the infrastructure to even think of a plan to make some money today.
Right.
This nigga, he probably got to fucking go on a 5-mile like hike with 2 buckets on a fucking piece of wood to bring water back to his fucking so his sister could fucking make some porridge and some oatmeal and shit. You over here probably on your smartphone messaging niggas talking about, yo, my family could have set me up right. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about a positive attitude and being grateful. You understand? You're in a first world country. You're on the internet texting or typing or whatever it is you're doing. Either way, that means you have a device and that means you got access to the fucking internet. You know how fortunate you are, my nigga?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You even got enough to have your own fucking name and avatar. Look at you. You got your own avatar and shit. And you over here talking about, yo, my parents could have set me up right though, man. Fuck my parents, man. You know what I mean? I feel like they gave me a bad hand. No, bro. No. You understand? Being born into whatever family you've been born into is all luck of the draw. From there, you got to make your own way. Because you even got some people in rich families who they fucking family be like, they disown them and be like, you're not gonna live off of me. Mm-hmm. You got to make your own fucking way. It's rich people out there like that. They'll fucking send their child to fucking some crazy country and make them stay there for like a decade and work for Peace Corps and shit, just so they can understand the value of wealth and money.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And King Yikes, man, you be on the show, you my nigga. Don't take nothing what I'm saying personally, but I'm trying to use you as an example to make the point that we gotta be fucking grateful out here, bro. We have to be grateful out here, because just like you feel a little bit upset that you were born into the family that you were born into, you could have been born into a whole nother family. Mm-hmm. have been born into a family that lives in a village that these fucking warlords fucking come through and massacre everybody on a daily fucking basis. You could have been wiped out last week by a nigga with a fucking machete and church shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it goes down in some of those countries. So I'm saying instead of looking at what your family didn't do for you, focus on what your family did do and look at the opportunities that you do have in front of you. Like I said, living in a first world country and you have access to the internet. Me and Lucario was just talking about this shit the other day. It's like, bro, seriously, if you're broke these days, I mean, I can understand you're not rich, but if you're flat fucking broke and you have access to the internet, you're just not trying hard enough. You understand what I'm saying? If you're flat fucking broke, meaning if you can't borrow somebody's car and do Uber Eats, if you can't fucking, go to the grocery store and do Instacart, if you can't fucking, bro, they got shit on Fiverr where you can get paid $50 an hour just to listen to somebody talk. You can sign up to be a listener. So it's because there's people out there that don't have enough money to pay for a therapist. So what they do is they go to Fiverr and they hire your services to be a listener, just for you to stay on the phone and be like, yep, okay,
Crazy.
Huh?
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying? So the bottom line is we got to be grateful out here. There's no reason for nobody to be complaining about their family and this, that, and the third. Like I said, I was a 30-year-old man sleeping in the same bed with my pops not too long ago. Not too long ago. Me and my 60-year-old pops, 30-year-old nigga, 30-year-old nigga, 30-year-old nigga, 60-year-old nigga sleeping in the same bed in a room in the back of some house. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
like when I hear niggas complain, I don't feel sorry for niggas. I just be like, niggas is ungrateful or their mindset is off. You understand? Because let me tell y'all this. If everybody was to run together and drop off their problems, and then they said, all right, go back and get your problems, I guarantee that somebody's going to snatch up your problems and leave their problems. And you're going to be looking at this shit like, oh, shit. I want my problems back. I don't want this nigga's problems.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So being grateful and having a positive mindset goes a far way, especially when we thinking about money and try to build wealth and all this type of shit, man, for real.
Some real shit.
Yeah, no, so I was going to say something real quick, right? Just to kind of quickly piggyback on what you were saying, right? Here's what people don't realize, right? There's like different levels to life, right? Now, everything I don't know what your parents did and didn't do. However, I know one thing about parents. It's safe to say that most parents love their children.
Mm-hmm.
So they do pretty much any and everything that they can so their child can have a good life. It is your responsibility. It is your duty, for one, as a human being, two, as a man, to pick up where they left off.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job. Because even from the different time frames, right? Depending on how old you are, King Yikes, your parents probably lived through civil rights era. They were probably around during the civil rights era, probably around during Jim Crow. Different things were happening during the times that they were growing up and times that they had you. So they could only do but so much. Like I said, it's your job to carry on the torch and do the rest.
Facts.
It is nobody else's responsibility but your own.
Right. That's
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And as far as playing a bad hand, you're still in the game. You're still in the game.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
That's real shit.
So the whole thing about playing a bad hand, I don't believe in it. It may not be the best hand, but you're still playing the game.
Exactly. You still in the game, man. Like, yo, man, we gotta be grateful out here, man. A grateful attitude is what is gonna allow you to see opportunities to do more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's gonna allow you the network. That's being look. Okay, let's just say you and all of us have been through it, right? We walked into a fast food spot and there's some fucking kid who hates his life taking your fucking order. Isn't that the worst? Isn't that the worst? Like, bro, like, nigga, ain't nobody like you working at McDonald's, bro. I ain't tell you to work at McDonald's, but now you want to give that bad energy to me?
Right.
You mad that you work in the McDonald's? And then think of the flip side, right? Think of how like when you go to a place like Chick-fil-A and there's somebody taking your order, and they, you know, at Chick-fil-A they do that extra training to make sure niggas is cheerful. You know what I'm saying? When you make your order at Chick-fil-A, they be like, "My pleasure, happy to serve you," and they be smiling and shit. You understand? And think of the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the fucking difference. And a lot of those kids that be working at Chick-fil-A, if y'all ever notice, they don't stay at Chick-fil-A long. And the reason why they don't stay at Chick-fil-A long is because they take that training and that customer service and they start applying it into new opportunities to get to put themselves in better positions to do more. Right. Yeah, but that nigga, that angry, depressed nigga at the McDonald's, that nigga gonna be working there for the next decade. Because he's stagnant. You see what I'm saying? Right. Because he ain't nobody gonna see him and want to give him a job. Ain't nobody gonna see him and want to give him a promotion or try to network with him to put him in a better situation. You understand? Because of his attitude. Right. That's why it's so important to stay grateful. It's so important. So even when not just staying grateful too, but also having patience, right? Because you know. So what if you can't save $500 a month, nigga? If you could save 200, if you could save 100, if you could save 50, if you could save 25, if you could save $5, nigga, it's you still doing better than a lot of people. Right. You understand? The point of the matter is to appreciate that and say to myself, well, nigga, I'm saving $5, and it might take me a little bit longer than the next nigga, but I'm still doing it. I'm working towards something. I'm working towards a goal. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? The dude who's working towards a goal, who stays positive and who stays consistent saving the $5, guess what happens? Because he's been so consistent saving the $5, there's gonna come a time where he's gonna notice another opportunity for him to make a little bit of extra money. And then instead of only saving the $5, he probably gonna be able to add another 15 to that. So now he's saving $20 a month. Right. But that's because his positive attitude kept his eyes open for opportunities. You see what I'm saying? When you negative and you're not grateful for your shit, it fucking clouds your judgment. So all you can focus on is the negativity. All you can focus on is the things that's not going right. Right. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with that type of mindset.
That's crazy, man. So I'm telling you, the mindset is heavy. It's a heavy thing. You know what I mean? Yep. It's a heavy fucking thing. So, you know, you guys out there, when you're doing your shit, man, you know, you got to have a certain mindset in order to really get things going the way you want it to go in the direction you need it to go. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't really, doing the thing that you need to do with your mindset, then things are not going to work out how you want it to work out in reality. It's just not going to happen.
Exactly.
You know? So you gotta be, definitely on point with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because your mindset affects your reality. Yeah. Right.
I was thinking about the different experiences people have when they travel, when they go to different places, different trips and stuff like that. A lot of times when you see people travel, the travel is not really that expensive, right? And because money is relative. So what do I mean by that? It's like, you could go to the DR, you know what I'm saying, for a couple $100, right? But then you could buy a pair of Yeezys for a couple $100. Right. You know what I'm saying? You could go to Vegas for a couple $100. Or you could buy the Oculus for a couple $100. So it just depends on what you really want to do. Really. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the most important is the discipline of everything. The reason why I say that is because negativity and positivity is like the market. It can fluctuate. It can go up and down. One day you could be in a positive state of mind. The next day you could be in a negative state of mind. However, what should remain constant is the discipline that you have for what you really want to do.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
Facts. No, I got a website. I got a website that I want to share with y'all real quick. It's called Skip Lag. Anybody ever heard of it? Anybody on the panel heard of it?
Nah.
Okay. Well, so it's called Skip Lag. So here I'm going to put it in. Hold on. Let me put it in the chat. Copy. Hold on. Copy. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So what this is a website where I don't got. Somebody keeps saying, do we have thoughts on crypto? I'm not even going to talk about crypto, man. Honestly, that's too volatile of a topic, and I don't know enough to really give anybody any pointers on it personally. I don't know if y'all got any stuff on crypto, but what I want to talk about, since we're talking about life is about experiences, I want y'all to check out this website called Skiplag. I just put it in the chat. So basically, it's a site that basically it shows you all of the cheapest flights from wherever you're at. So for example, all you have to do is put in a date and it searches the flights. So right now from where I'm at right now in North Carolina, it says I could get a flight to Orlando from August 3rd and return August 8th, and these are round trip flights. Right. To Orlando for $108. I could go to Philly for $118. I could go to Detroit for $138. I could go to New Orleans for $148. I could go to Dallas for $179. Washington DC for $187. Chicago for $230. Atlanta for $247. You understand? Nashville, Tennessee for $240. Las Vegas for $318. You get what I'm saying? Right. So what we was talking about earlier is like if you literally just want to experience different things in life, there's a lot of different ways to do it, especially if you're not that picky. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say you want to go to another city, and this website you can check it all the time where it because things change. Sometimes it's cheaper to go to one city than another city depending on what's going on with the flights. But you can get on this website anytime and you can look up some of the cheapest flights. Right. And you could just pick a city and be like, you know what, fuck it. I've never been to Detroit, or I've never been to Chicago, or I've never been to New Orleans. I'm gonna go check out what it has to offer. And that's a brand new experience. And it costs less than like you were saying, it costs less than a pair of Yeezys, a round trip ticket. You see what I'm saying? So for the price of less than a pair of Yeezys, you and your girl could go visit a city y'all never been to, stay at a decent cheap hotel and explore the city. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's a vacation right there. That's a dope experience right there. So a lot of times, you can't, a lot of times we put our expectations too high where it's like, oh, well, if I'm not like, in Miami on a yacht, driving a Lambo or doing all this crazy shit. If I'm not doing all those things, then it don't mean nothing. Why? Because a lot of us be looking at social media and comparing ourselves to other people. You see what I'm saying? Instead of focusing on what would actually make us happy. And for a lot of, I know a lot of people who would love to just get up and go to fucking, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. to go see the monuments, Fort Lauderdale, go to the beach. You see what I'm saying? For $188 round trip. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't beat that shit. You go to Boston for $203. Like, all this shit is real shit. You understand? And so it's possible out there to live a good life, man, but it's up to you to have a certain mindset and be grateful and be willing to, to explore what you have available to you. And King Yak said, he says, "You right, I can't complain. I make good money just reflecting on life." Well, understand. I need you to understand something, King Yaks. If you can look at your life right now and say that you can't complain and that you make good money, understand that whether you believe it or not, whatever it is your parents did or didn't do has a lot to do with where you are today. So it just makes sense for you to just be thankful, period. You understand what I'm saying? Right. They talking about this Roe versus Wade shit. Yo, your mom's could have got rid of you before you even got here.
Exactly.
Like a whole bunch of shit could have went down, but you here though. That's what you're supposed to be grateful for, bro. So, I mean, I feel you on the reflecting on life shit. And this is something that I had to deal with myself too, because my parents made some fucked up decisions when it comes to the possibility of generational wealth that our family could have been a part of or could have had the opportunity to amass. Right. But they literally shit it all away. You understand? But there are times when I feel like how King Yaks felt. But then there are other times where I'm like, well, they showed me a great example of what not to do. Right. You see what I'm saying? And so I have to appreciate them for that. And on top of that, they kept it so I couldn't even depend on them for shit necessarily. They kept it so I had to keep my nose to the ground. I had to hustle. You understand? I had to work fucking hard to get to where I am today. And it's because my parents didn't quote unquote set me up right. You understand what I'm saying? That's the exact reason why. Because I looked at my life and I was like, shit. Well, nigga, you better make it out here because you can't ask your parents for nothing because they ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, shit. Being in a situation like that actually could be a good thing because it's like, well, I'm not one of these trust fund kids. I never grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So it forced me to be the hustler that I am today. It forced me to be the hard worker that I am today. And that's a beautiful thing.
Right. Exactly. Now that's some real shit, man. So guys, just gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. That's part of the game. Part of the game is understanding that shit, is gonna be a grind. It's going to be a hustle. It's going to be, you're going to have to even stretch your comfort zone to do certain things at certain points.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's part of the game, man. But anything else I want to say before we wrap it up?
Kayleen, anything you want to say?
Two things real quick. For one, get comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want to be successful at anything.
Facts.
That's number one. Number two, like I said earlier, the discipline to, budget and save your money so you can have these experiences, because a lot of times I feel like we're not patient enough. So then we'll ruin certain experiences by these temporary things that don't really matter. We could have did something extravagant or something meaningful, impactful, but we didn't because we were impatient to do so.
Right.
Last thing I would say, if you want to know how to budget a little better, if you want some tips on places to go, how you can, be financially set for RKT appraisals, right? Call myself or Rashidi. There's the website at the bottom. There's also the phone number there. Give us a call. We can help you not only set up a trip as far as budgeting is concerned, but like I said, we got life insurance. We help people with retirement. Also, we do real estate, and we can help you with your credit as well. So,
Word, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, guys, make sure you guys go to rktappraisals.com. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you guys get this shit popping. And yeah, man, we'll highlight y'all later. And appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Just share this channel so other people could get up on here and make this shit go down. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
We holler at y'all later. All right. Remember, this is inside you. Peace.
Peace.
We out.